find my stuff on Facebook. I'm doing a YouTube live. I usually do Facebook lives, but I'm doing YouTube live because I never can find my videos from the past that I want to refer back to. Liesel started having seizures a week ago. She's 8 years old. She, I know from hundreds of other dogs, hundreds of other people I've helped in German Shepherd groups on Facebook that seizures come from flea meds and vaccines. And this is not the case with Liesel because Liesel never had any, and Liesel never um, had any worm meds, nothing. She's 8 years old. She's never been sick. Maybe light UITs now and then. Um, but anyhow, she's having. Thank God I took a video. I'm corresponding with a he's a naturopath vet, but he's Chinese. He's really, really natural. He's not an integrated vet. He only uses natural things, and that's how I am because I don't trust any pharmaceuticals whatsoever. Um, but anyhow, last week she had a seizure. I got them under control with CBD, uh, CBD, MTC oil. I'm trying to, I gave her olive oil, but I'm still researching everything for the type of seizure she's having. She's having focal, focal seizures, which the way she has them, you can identify them because she'd lift her front leg and then her back leg, and and fix this camera. Hold on. Wipe it off. Her front leg, her back leg, and then fall over. I will upload it then on a short. But she has epilepsy. The reason she has never had a seizure till now is because she's chemical free her whole life. She's chemical free, raw fed. I used to feed kibble. You'll find old videos of kibble until my dog Georgie died from her microchip. Um, anyhow, today she had seizures last Sunday all day long. There's no, the closest emergency vet for me is 2 hours away, and I don't trust them anyhow. I can honestly say there's a naturopath vet, what is 3 hours away in the Appalachian Mountains here. Um, so I do have years and years of study. She's a naturally reared dog. Her mom was raw fed while pregnant. I didn't do any of them puppy vaccines, none of them, because before I bred my own and kept them in my research, I had dogs dying at 6 years old and having health problems at from the time I used to get them spayed or neutered, just have health problems, and they would die so young, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, all those jabs, arm juice, skin juice, we'll call it, um, was doing it, and like Buddy and taking their hormones uh, is bad. If you can't watch your dog so they don't get impregnated or mate, you can get an ovary sparing spade or the one a bisectomy that men get. That's there's very few what do it, but I see our future with lots of them. Now that people are waking up that dogs need hormones. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are worried. I'm actually my cat cannot have be spayed. And I'm actually my cat, I'm getting off the seizure subject. My cat, I give her melatonin. As soon as she starts coming in heat, I give her melatonin. It takes her out of heat. And I give her a little Sweet Anne's, St. Anne's lace that prevents where they don't over ovulate. I get a melatonin, 10 milligrams, and I smash it in a pill crusher and I give it to the cat. I just spit that out talking about the hormones. Animals need their hormones. Anyhow, so I got her seizures stopped last Sunday. She did have them all day. And then I have to upload those videos too. Our heat with all the spraying in the freaking sky and the weather modification, I it got real hot here. We went from like 40 degrees, 50 degrees up to near 90 the other day, and we had an episode with the neighbor, the a squirrel actually needed my help, and it came to me because its baby, she dropped it and she wanted help, and I had to help her. I helped her move her two babies. Like, I kept the wildcats away. I'll upload that video too. But anyhow, while I was out with the squirrels, Liesel got so upset. She just got so upset the other day. That was Saturday night. Saturday night. And when I came in, she lifted her leg. And I did give her, bio. It's a Chinese herb. You'll have to look it up. It's an herb for bleeding. But I didn't know what was going on. And she did, like, her urine did have some red blood cells in it. So I gave her that Chinese herb. That Chinese herb stopped Georgie's bleeding. It stopped Buddy's tumor. My dog with cancer has lived 9 years now with cancer. Um, I have to look up the turmeric paste, but I'm not going to jump around here. But anyhow, that herb for bleeding, I keep that for my dogs and myself all the time. I take it along hiking and everything. Well, I stopped giving it to her also. So I thought maybe it was that herb because I stopped giving it. I have to do more research into that too, because that might be what prevented her from having more seizures since last week, because she started acting up after that. But she gets so upset. You could go up on the couch. You could go up on the couch. Where are you going? Anyhow, I know they're corresponding with a veterinarian, and I sent a video. We know from just the way she had the seizure. So if your dog ever has a seizure, videotape it if you can. I couldn't get any of the other ones. We just were happened to be going outside yesterday, and she's when I started videoing, and she had a seizure in front of me. But anyhow, um, I got them stopped last Sunday, and then this week she went all week. We went to the mountain. We got water. I don't know if I put any videos of us up on the mountain or not, and she was absolutely fine. What are you doing? Do you have to go out now? That's Liesel. She's still. You mommy's good girl. That's a good girl. It's all right. I've been doing an acupuncture on her, and I think I might do it again since she's walking around. She might have to go out again. I'm not letting her run with the other dogs until I get these seizures. But I'll get to that point. Anyhow, she was having a few seizures yesterday again. I didn't have the biome um, this time because I ran out and my order didn't come yet. And it's going to be a couple days till it gets here. Because I gave her them the night before, and I gave her the last one yesterday, and she needs two, like 3 times a day. But anyhow, today she didn't have any this morning or anything, and I fed her breakfast. I feed my dogs a raw ketogenic diet, and I just gave her 2 chicken legs this morning and her bone broth, and I've been hydrating her with bone broth. That is a lifesaver. Make your bone broth. That is so important. My dogs get it every day. Bone broth. And it's a good hydration thing. But now that I know what kind of seizure she's having, because I didn't know, and I couldn't get to a vet yesterday, and I don't trust them anyhow. Yesterday was Easter, and I have to drive 2 hours, and my car, I'd have to find someone to even drive me that far, because I just drive my old Jeep locally to the stores. It gets me to where I need to go. Anyhow, She didn't have any seizures this morning. She did pick her leg up a couple times. Like she picks her leg up and then she stretches out her back leg. And today, up in the bathtub, I was in the bathtub. She was in the bathroom. And every time I'm in the tub, I always give them some coconut oil because I use actually real coconut. She had that and she laid back down. She started having a seizure. That's another thing. MTC oil, coconut oil is good for seizures, omega 3s, uh, sardines, and mackerel, and all that kind of rich food. A low glutamine diet, I just learned today. Um, I'll have to do a more organized video, but I want to record this so I know what day she had this, and I want it so I have it for my records also, and to help anyone else. But anyhow, she had a full blown, like when the dogs get them flea meds, so many dogs are getting seizures. I never in a million years, I didn't study for it. And, I studied animals holistic health now for over 13 years, and I've treated my own animals, and I never studied up. I knew what to do for seizures. I've helped people whose dogs had seizures with the CBD, MTC oil, and get the flea and detoxing their liver because the flea meds are so toxic. That's why dogs with flea meds get seizures because the liver gets toxic by. Hey, hey, Lisal, now. All right, that's enough. Lay down. I don't care. I have another one. I'm gonna do this little. Hey, hey. How I push her there on her nose. It's not hurting her. That's an acupuncture point for a dog having a seizure. Now, I hope you didn't get too excited. You gotta lay down. I hope you don't have one while we're on and trying to keep her calm. Lily, no barking. My house is a dusty mess. I was sick, and then they were sick. I've been not leaving her side. Now you lay down, be good girl. Be good girl. Where's a good girl? Yeah, don't start. Don't start. See how she's picking her leg up there? That's why I thought she was in pain, but it's a neuro. Her brain doesn't work right. I didn't know that her whole life. I just thought she was a different dog. She's always chased her tail. She's always barked at people like that. She digs. She has OCD, like terrible OCD. Lay down, man. Good girl. I'm going to do your feet now. Here's another acupressure point. You push 5 times. Let's stay. I have the other dogs locked out today, just Lily's in. You do it 5 times in a row, 3 times or 4 times for each paw. Do it to the same paw. That's another acupuncture point. It has calmed her down. I just learned that too. That's why I want to record this because I don't even have a book to start. My books are full. I got to get something else to write in. Um, I need more paper for my book. Let's say. Anyhow, yeah, mommy's good. That's Lily. Good girl. See how she calmed down. Acupuncture works. Stuff like that works. But anyhow, so where was I? Today she had a full blown seizure again. I did give her CBD this morning, but I didn't want to give her too much because CBD gets me high. There's a little THC in it where I guess it's called CBD and CB. I don't know. There's two of them now in it in the CBD stuff I use. CG, CGB, I think it is. Don't quote me. Lazarus CBD. I always use them. And if you're disabled, low income, or a veteran, they give you a 60% discount, and it's organic. Always try to get organic if you can afford it. There's so many GMO crops now. That's the thing. I didn't think this would ever happen to my dogs because they eat organic, they eat fresh food. I don't use chemicals. Honestly, up till now, my dogs have never been sick, and they still run and they still jump. A lot of German Shepherds, 8 years old, can't even jump anymore. So anyhow, um, now, no, no. I want to keep her calm. I got to get a big pet taxi, and they have to stay cool. So I got the fan on up there. You have to keep them cool too with her type of seizures, probably with any type of seizures. You have to cool them down, like put their feet in water and stuff, because when they seize like crazy, then their body temperature gets too hot, and you have to cool them down. And it's good to put their paws in cool water, not like ice water, just cool water. And then this, but this is what I do. Always talk to your vet, always. But some people get in a circumstance like me, 2 hours from a veterinarian, an hour from a veterinarian, and you don't have a way to get there. And there's no way I could drive her having seizures. The one she had today was a full blown, scary, scary seizure when I was in the tub. When your dog's having a seizure, you're not supposed to hold them down. You don't need to check their mouth or anything like that. You just let them seize. I just make sure she's not going to run into anything or fall into anything. My son has epilepsy too. He got his epilepsy from a DPT shot, or a tetanus shot, when at 26 years old. He needed stitches, and they gave him a tetanus. A week later, the stitches had nothing to do with the seizures. The arm juice. A week later, he started having seizures, and it's years later, and he still has epilepsy from that. If he'd listen to me and get on a ketogenic diet and take MTC oil, and he is on medical marijuana, so he does use that at least. I was explaining to him how the bread's not real anymore, that it's all genetically modified, and everything. I'm jumping around. I like to do organized videos. Um, but anyhow, I wanted to get on here and tell you about Liesel. I want to mark it with video. And I gave her like spoonfuls of olive oil because I thought she was in pain, but she was actually seizing. It wasn't pain. I treated her with willow bark too. I have to look into that, so don't quote me on this stuff. I'm going to put together what works for her now that, with corresponding with the vet and the video I took, um, the naturopath vet, I I know what kind of seizures they are, because that's what had me baffled, like totally baffled. And looking back at how she chased her tail her whole life. Um, that barking she just did, whining. She always would just whine. Every video I have of her and she's whining in them. You can hear them, like in my videos. I just thought it was her personality, but it was her brain's different. And now that she's older, she's getting seizures with it. I, I don't know if that disguise is what shut started them off. I don't know. So hopefully, I got to keep her calm. She is older now, so she's going to get daily CBD. I'm going to get valerian root, also is good for that, and MTC oil. They are going to be the three things I'm going to probably need daily. The Unibile, you're only supposed to use that like a couple days in a row. I might just have that for emergencies, but every household in the world should have that in. That stops bleeding. You can put it on a wound and take it. You can look it up. It's a Chinese herb, been used for hundreds of years to stop bleeding, and it does work. It stopped my Georgie's spleen from bleeding, so she lived her last days of her life and didn't need to be put to sleep because it stopped her spleen from bleeding. I think every person should learn the basics on dog emergency care. And there's Unibiome you should always have in your house. There's this stuff. Now, that's not natural. It's called Blue Coat. I always have that in case they get a cut. That Blue Coat has been used for hundreds of years on farm animals. It's like a liquid band aid. It's antifungal. It's an antibiotic, and it's for fungus and everything. That is my go-to if there's something I can't cure with just out of my kitchen cupboard. There's a lot more things I did for her that I do, like for bladder infection, because I treated her with garlic. And garlic is not poisonous to dogs. I've used it for over 40 years for dogs. And I, they get a garlic every day. They get a garlic every day, 5,000 milligrams. Mine do. I don't know what size your dog is, or they get it in their bone broth. And now that it's summer, I give them a pill in the morning. And and gelatin helps seizures. Bone broth. Maybe that's why she didn't get them till now, because she's always gotten bone broth every day of her life, and that has gelatin in it. So I'm going to still be doing that. Like, there's a lot, because lots of dogs start out young with it. But her, everything makes sense now. She's an obsessive digger. Like, she, like, goes out of control, like, and digs. Like, just jumps and digs and digs. And, like, she ruined our yard. It's the dog's yard anyhow. But I didn't want her digging like that. I would give her places where she could dig, but she would dig and suck on the ground. Like, she has her teeth all worn down from doing that her whole life. But here it was a brain condition. Her neurons don't fire right, and it with this diagnosis, everything this dog has did totally makes sense. You vets don't know this. They don't know how to put everything together. They would have took this dog. I'm in a bunch of German Shepherd groups. They would have took this dog and gave it a freaking medication, like a strong Prozac, or you know what I mean, a antidepressant that causes side effects. It makes you feel awful because before I went natural with my kidney disease, which I am 85% better with my kidney disease since I went natural. I'm not on 370 pills anymore a month. I take a couple herbs um, for my pain. And what I use for pain, I use kratom, I use CBD, usually just at night for me, CBD, because it does knock you out. It does me, anyhow. And there's a Alchenka Piedra that breaks stones up. They don't even know that. Well, my urologist does now, knows that from me and an elderly woman who was 80, was going to get surgery, and her son didn't want her to, only if she had to, and he got her that herb, and that lady's stone broke up and passed. And mine are calcium oxalate stones. But anyhow, I just mainly wanted to get this down on record. Today's date is April 21st, 2025. Lisal's second seizure, full blown seizure. And I'm going to share this on my Facebook too, this video, for people who want an update. I'll probably just do a short video for on there. But I can't find my videos. They don't have folders you can put them in and stuff on Facebook. Well, they do, but I do it and I forget to put it, and you can't go back and then put it in a folder. Like, if you upload it and you didn't put it in a folder ahead of time, you can't go back and put it in a folder. Hopefully they'll change that in the future, but I want to do more YouTube. I kind of slacked off. Sorry, my YouTube followers. I think I got like 5,000 of you guys. Um, I do little shorts. I like music and I like preaching. So I like to do them. But did you see she doing that? She started her leg lifting, and I did the pressure point on her nose there. Like you do that. My nails have blue coat on them because Spunky had a little cut in her leg, and I put the blue coat on it. And I got it all over my hands because the sprayer wouldn't work. So I put it on a paper towel. And long story, me. That's me. That's why I got to get more organized when I get on here because I do jump around. I get so much information in my brain that I have to, my ADHD, I got to keep it, I gotta write it down. And I am obsessive with learning dog stuff after losing my beloved dogs. I've been doing dogs now, have been my whole life. I like dogs and I don't trust mainstream after losing 4 or 5 dogs to cancer at age 6. Now my pack is Buddy's 15, Isaac's 10 and a half, Spunky and Tippy, never been sick. Neither has Isaac. I think he had like 2 urinary tracts. I do get test strips. You could check your dog's urine. And I treated him for 2 so far in 10 and a half years. Um, Liesel just turned 8. Tippy and Spunky are 9. And Nugs is 6, I believe. I'm not positive. Um, and then Lily is 4. She'll be 5 this year. And this little girl's 1.5. She was paralyzed. I healed her with food. She was paralyzed. I don't think anyone believed me that she would be okay. I got videos to prove it. Medicine, food is medicine, and these herbs, Chinese herbs and just herbs, you should always have parsley in your cupboard. You should always have garlic and turmeric. Oh, my dogs get golden paste. I did a video on that. That's on my um, post page, my community page. They get golden. They get golden paste. I got to look that up because glutamine, that should be low. And if that's high in glutamine for her, she won't be getting that. Only in her bone broth. So you got to watch that with this kind of seizures. I don't know about other seizures. I'm going to be doing the epileptic for dogs seizures, and I'm doing a deep dive. Everyone who likes to deep dive into uh, learn because they say something, but why does it work? Like I want to know the more. I want to know everything about it and the reason why it works and what foods is it in and like I just don't take something because someone says to. I want to know why, where it comes from, all those things. So I hope you're all having a good day. I'm going to post this on Facebook now. I don't know how to get out. Lisa says goodbye. Lily. That seizure up in the bathroom lasted, I don't know, 2 to 5 minutes today. It was, I never ever want to see that again. If she's going to do that a lot, I'm not going to let her suffer like that. I will, I have a lady I know can come to the house and put her to sleep because I am not, that was awful. Those were absolutely awful. And I know food is medicine, and I know the right omega 3s and stuff just to get her diet the way it is and get these seizures calmed down and get her calmed down. She's going to need daily CBD before when we usually wake up at 3 in the morning. She's getting a dose every day, like a good sized dose to keep her calm. And I'm going to get Valerian root too. They can have. Maybe I'll give her a little bit of CBD and then the Valerian root to, keep her calm because she gets over. It's like she's a drama queen 24/7. I thought she was, but here it was her brain. Poor Liesel. But she's my favorite. She's my service dog. The minute she's on a leash and working, she's a totally different mindset. She's a totally different dog. She's my best dog for going. I could take her into stores, everywhere, and she's perfect. Like absolutely perfect. She might whine a little bit, but once I put that leash on her, it snaps her into something when she knows she's working with mom for mom. I don't need her like I used to when I was bedridden and stuff. I don't, and since I've gotten off of pharmaceuticals. Have a good day.